Hello friends, welcome to Storytime with Mary
and Molly.
Today's story is just so amazing. So encouraging how God always answers our prayers at the right time, that miracles are not impossible for him because he can do miracles. He's God and he always takes care of his children.
Amen.
And friends, if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do that now and click that bell so you can get immediate notification once we post a new story. So get cuddly, grab a blanket, and enjoy this amazing story.
After months of sickness and unemployment, Father was feeling very discouraged.
I don't see any way through, unless God helps us.
I hope He will soon, said Mother earnestly, knowing how very little food there was left.
I never was in such a fix before. No money in the house, and through no fault of our own either. I wonder what is going to happen.
I can't tell. It's the children I'm worried about. They'll all be in for supper in a minute or two, and there isn't a bite of bread for them.
Is the last loaf gone?
It is the last loaf.
Then it is truly time for God to work.
At this moment, the back door was flung open with a bang. In rushed the three children, panting from their run up the long hill from the school, and as usual, desperately hungry.
What's for supper, Mama?
Mother looked at Father. For a moment, she didn't know just what to say. I'm afraid God hasn't sent it yet. The children's faces fell. Nothing to eat? That was awful. They knew that Father was out of work and that hospital bills had taken all his savings, but somehow there had always been something for them to eat.
Mama, if there isn't any food in the house, why don't we ask Jesus to send some? He surely won't let us starve, and I'm so hungry.
It's the only thing we can do. Let's gather round the table and pray.
So without another word, they all knelt down, Father, Mother, and the three children, and pleaded with God to send them at least some bread to eat, as He had promised in His word. Now it so happened that this very afternoon, two ladies who belonged to the same church as this family were talking about them, wondering why they had not seen them of late. There must be something the matter, or they would have been to the meeting yesterday. They never miss.
You're right. I think we should go visit them and find out whether there's anything they need. The husband has been out of work for some time, I believe. Yes, let's go now.
So the two ladies set out for the little cottage in the country where the poor family lived. It was quite a distance to walk, part of the way being up a long, steep hill. They had nearly reached the top of the hill when a baker's truck passed them, traveling very swiftly. As it went by, what do you suppose happened? Well, believe it or not, the door of the truck flew open and out fell a loaf of bread on the roadway. A moment later, the truck seemed to hit a rock or a rut in the road, for it shook violently, scattering loaves in all directions through the open doors. Quite unaware of what had happened, the driver of the truck continued his headlong course and in a few seconds was out of sight and far away. Here was a problem for the two ladies. All over the road were beautiful, brown, crusty loaves of bread. good food that in a few minutes would be crushed and spoiled by other traffic passing by. It seemed too bad to leave them there, and at last they stood there on the grass beside the road with each a pile of loaves in her arms. "What shall we do with them now?" asked one of the ladies, smiling but a little worried. "I don't know. If we knew who owned them, we'd take them back to him, but we don't. The only thing I can think of is to take them with us and see what happens." "Well, let's do it then, and quickly, for my arms are getting tired." So off they went, soon reaching the garden gate of the little cottage they had set out to find. Walking up the path, the loaves still piled high in their arms, they knocked at the door. Rat-tat-tat. The door was opened by Mother, and the two ladies saw a sight that moved their hearts. For there were Father and the three children still kneeling in prayer around the empty table. A moment later, all were on their feet, their eyes gleaming with surprise and excitement. "Jesus has sent us bread! I knew he would if we asked him."
Yes, he surely has, and far more than we dare to ask for. It is bread from heaven indeed.
Grace before meals. It is good to say thank you to God before every meal. Here is a sweet little prayer you may use. Perhaps it will change from the one you say now. Read it over to Mother. I think she'll be pleased with it. So will God. Thy blessing, Lord, bestow, while we this food partake, and make our hearts as white as snow, we ask for Jesus' sake.
Thank you, friends, for watching. We hope you were encouraged in the Lord. It's such an amazing story that God can do the impossible, and He always does miracles at the right time. Friends, if you haven't yet subscribed, please go ahead and do that now and click on that bell so you can receive immediate notification once every time we post a video. We thank you all so much for your support. We appreciate you watching our videos and encouraged by these amazing miracle stories. Amen. We'll see you next time.
Next time.
Bye.